morning, everyone. Thank you for being here for Focus Friday. I hope everyone is having a nice morning. I'm excited to be here with you today to share some tips for social media. So tips, best practices. We've got a lot to cover today, but I do want to make sure this is interactive. So do stay active in that chat box. If you do have any questions, thoughts, ideas, make sure you jump in there. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat box. I know Shanna will be too. So feel free to put any questions there and we will keep an eye out. But I'm going to get started. So I wanted to jump in with some social media best practices. But first, let's talk about, why are we even talking about social media in the first place? Why is it such a big deal that, one of our favorite topics here in the marketing department, as you know, but why are we talking about it? Why is it so important? So just want to start there before we jump into my presentation here. So when we think about marketing as a whole, really we're looking at two primary objectives. So our goals are, in all of our marketing efforts, whether it's direct mail or social media or something else entirely, our goal is to build brand awareness and our goal is to generate leads. So not necessarily in that order, you need both to have a really good marketing strategy. So what we are doing here and talking about social media is just taking one of those methods. Again, not the only one, maybe not the best one for you, maybe it is, but it's a really good way to combine both of those objectives and really reach both of those goals of building your brand awareness, making sure more people are aware of your brand and what you're all about, and then also generating leads. So like I said, you can't really have one without the other. And so what we are doing today is just talking about how you can use social media as one of your marketing tools to accomplish both of those objectives. So brand awareness, lead generation are both something you can accomplish through social media, especially if you have the right mix of organic and paid social media. So that's specifically what I want to talk about today is how can you get that right mix of organic and paid social media advertising to make sure that you are kind of having that right balance of lead generation and brand awareness that's going to work best for you and your business. So that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to get started by sharing my screen here and we are going to jump in. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to start with talking about organic social media, what it means, why it's important. We'll talk about video content. So we're going to talk about why that should definitely be part of your organic social media strategy. Then we'll get into a little bit of paid social media. So why is it important that you advertise on social media and the benefits that that might have for your business. We'll go into some lead generation tips and tricks toward the end and finish off with just some general best practices, things to keep in mind as you are moving forward with your social media strategy. So I don't see any questions in the chat so far. Feel free to put them in there as they come up. But I'm going to jump into organic social media. So first, what is organic social media? Organic social media is defined as any type of social media content that you're posting without paid promotion. So really anything that you are publishing on social media for free. So if you go into Facebook right now and post something, or you go and add a story to your Instagram page or make an update on LinkedIn, all of that is going to be considered organic social media because you're not paying for it. So really just anything that you're not paying for is considered organic social media. So organic social media, is it going to be the #1 lead generation source for your business? In most cases, the answer to that question is no. And there are exceptions. There are definitely people who spend a lot of time and energy making social media their #1 lead generation platform. And that works great for some people. And definitely something to keep in mind is this is something you're passionate about and something you're really wanting to spend a lot of time and energy focusing on. But for most people, organic social media is not a way to generate a ton of leads or grow your business really fast. It's just, there are other goals for it and it is important for other reasons. So why should you still, focus on organic social media, even if it's not going to be, your #1 primary lead generation source? So the first reason is because you want to stay top of mind with your sphere. So the more people see you on social media, the more you're posting, they see your face, they see your content popping up on social media a few times a week. It really starts to build trust and keep you top of mind so that when someone, even if you haven't talked to them in person or seen them in person in a while, you want to be that first person that pops into their head when they're thinking of buying or selling real estate. So you want to be staying top of mind. And one really easy way to do that is just to make sure that you're posting regularly on social media. So people see you over and over again. And often without even realizing it, they start to build trust in you just from seeing your face over and over again on social media. So staying top of mind is just a really good way to make sure that you're that first person that pops into their head that they are seeing your updates regularly. So that's number one. Number two, it's a great way to stay in touch with your sphere. So social media, really at the root of it, was created as a way for you to stay in touch with people. So it's a way for you to post updates about your life. People see what's going on, what you're doing, and what's going on in your life, and you see what's going on in theirs, and you can interact with them in that way. So you see that they had a kid graduate, then you can post, congratulations to them, or you see that they went on a vacation somewhere that you love to go on vacation, you can comment and keep in touch that way. So it's a good way to keep in touch with your sphere. Again, I know you're always looking for opportunities to connect with your past clients, with your family, with your friends. And so social media is a good way to do that. And that's going to be done, accomplished through organic social media. So that's another reason why, even if you're not going to use organic social media as your primary lead generation source, that you would want to, just at least make sure that you are keeping it updated a few times a week. And then lastly, expanding your reach. So you do want to make sure that you are posting the right types of content on social media. And I will go into some details, some examples. I have some ideas for you coming up in the next few slides here. But if you post the right type of content that is getting people to engage and interact with what you're posting, you do have the opportunity to expand your reach and reach a broader audience through social media. So using content such as video content, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute, can actually help you expand your reach and get in front of more people on social media. So those are three reasons why, even if it's not going to be something you spend hours and hours and hours a week on, organic social media is really important for your business, just as a good way to stay connected, stay top of mind, and reach new people. So where should you start? I recommend start with 3 to 5 posts per platform per week. It can sound like a lot, but again, I have some ideas for you here. And I think that is going to just really kickstart your organic social media campaign, going to keep you top of mind again, which is really important. So 3 to 5 posts per week can sound like a lot. So then the next natural question is, what should you post? So really anything. And the goal here is, you want to post content that's going to make you personable and relatable. You want to be the expert in your local market. And you want to just use social media as a way for people to get to know you, which may feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but it doesn't need to be. So for example, if you love to cook, show what you're cooking. If you love to hike, just take some pictures of your favorite hikes in your area. Share, your tips as a real estate expert. Share home staging tips, and what are some myths that people are believing about the real estate market that aren't actually true, or what are some common mistakes that people are making? Really, I think if you sit down and think about, all of the wealth of knowledge that you have about your area, the neighborhood you live in, the neighborhoods around you, what's going on in your community and what's going on in the real estate market, you'll find that you really do have a lot of content that you can post about. So I have some ideas for you here, but I also want to point out that we do have quite a few resources for you available through our marketing team. If you are kind of stuck on what to post, we've got plenty of ideas for you. In fact, we actually create content for you every day. We have a new graphic and caption that's created and can be posted for you every single weekday. So Shanna's going to put the link to that in the chat box in case you are interested in taking a look and signing up, just to take that off of your plate and having a few posts per week just done automatically for you. You don't even have to think about it. And we do have commercial and residential options there. So that's just us kind of doing some research, seeing what's working, and putting our ideas out there for you to post, and just, again, take that off your plate. So we do have lots of ideas for you. We've got some content that you can have generated and posted automatically for you through Social Bay, as well as some really helpful scheduling tools. So you can create your own content and post it to all of your platforms at once through Social Bay. We've got BrandServe, which is a resource available through CB Desk and CBC Desk, which has a ton of content about the Coldwell Banker brand and just some different things that you can use to kind of show the network of support that you have behind you as a Coldwell Banker agent. We've got options for you through our marketing team, custom graphics. We've got an amazing graphic designer on staff, Sierra, who you can always reach out to for ideas and for help with designing. If you have an idea for social media that you want to try out, we are always here to help with that. We post videos and resources weekly on our changelivesacademy.com social media resource library. And then there's some really great blog posts on Coldwell Banker's, both of their blogs, the Blue Matter blog on the residential side, and the commercial blog for Coldwell Banker commercial agents. Both have some really great information, and their marketing teams are on board with us taking that content and using it and sharing it and and however we want to do that to use it to help us on social media. So make sure that you are taking advantage of those resources. Again, we want to make it easy for you to be staying in touch with your sphere on social media. So take some of this content, take some of these resources, post them, add that in with some of your own posts, your own hobbies, your own local content and community information, and you are set up for a really solid organic social media strategy. So make sure that you are kind of taking advantage of those resources there. And one thing that I do want to point out as we move on to video content is that part of your organic social media strategy should definitely include video. And we say that a lot, but I want to kind of make sure that you understand why it is that organic social media should include video, why that should just be part of your routine as you're going through and thinking about what you're going to post on social media. So a few stats here on the screen. Half of social media users actually prefer video over other types of content. So more and more people just want to see video on social media. They are spending more and more time watching video. 85% of people, and this is a stat as of the end of 2021, 85% of social media users wanted to see more videos from brands. So people are actually wanting to see this type of content. It's more interesting to them than regular, your typical type of ad that you used to see. So people really are wanting to see video content from brands for educational reasons and for entertainment reasons. Just keeps people's attention, and that's kind of where the trend of social media is going. So definitely something that you want to be involved in. People share video content with their friends twice as much as other types of content, which is a really big one, because when you think about how these social media algorithms work, engagement is really key. So you want to be posting content that other people want to interact with and want to share with their friends. That's really the key to success on any of the social media algorithms, is finding out how you can increase your engagement, how you can make sure other people want to interact with your posts. And so if you can post types of content that people are just automatically inclined to share more frequently, you're already setting yourself up for success. And then 91% of Instagram users watch videos weekly. Again, that's as of the end of 2021. So I imagine that has even increased since then. But really important that you are posting the type of content that the algorithms are wanting to share and that people are wanting to watch. And right now it's video content. So it continues to be a really important part of social media. And there's lots of different types of video you can post. Live videos are really great. There's lots of longer form videos on YouTube or Facebook, or you can post them on LinkedIn. If you're not sure where to start, I would recommend, you're new to video, you just want to kind of get your feet wet. I would recommend Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels are getting a 22% higher engagement rate than other types of video content. And as I mentioned, that's just the engagement is the key to reaching more people on social media. So the more engagement you get, the better off you're going to be. So again, why not choose types of content that are going to automatically position you better to get more engagement? So right now we're seeing that Instagram Reels are really the #1 way to reach more people on social media. So I would recommend, if you haven't gotten started yet, those are a great place to do it. So that's a good place to start off. I'll share some details about some workshops that we have coming up that can help you out with that. But would recommend you definitely incorporate video into your social media strategy. And if you're not sure where to start, video or Instagram Reels are a great place to get started. Okay, so I want to share a few tips and tricks for video content. So a lot of people are a little bit intimidated by video, but once you get started, there are some things that can definitely make it easier for you. And the first one, it's going to save you a lot of time if you are creating video content in batches. So if you are creating, videos, you can block off an hour or two per week or even per month, create a few videos at once. It's going to save you time rather than, waiting until the week of and you realize, oh, I haven't posted anything this week, and then go and put together a video really quickly. It's going to save you a lot of time if you can sit down, come up with a couple of video ideas. Again, have some here in the next couple of slides for you. Have some ideas, sit down and just film a couple at once, have them ready to go. It's going to save you a lot of time and hopefully make your life a lot easier, so that you're not, kind of worried at the last minute of figuring out what to post. Number 2 is if you're not sure what topics to post about, answer questions that are commonly asked by your clients. So check your email, see what people are asking you about. What are some things that people are asking you about the real estate market or about their transactions? What are some things that you get asked all the time? Answer those questions. Again, I've got some ideas here in the next slide. So number 3, and this is one that a lot of people struggle with, but you should definitely show your face in your videos. Videos that have your face in them are just going to help with building that trust that I talked about a few minutes ago. So the more your people are seeing your face, especially in video, the more they feel like they get to know you, even if you haven't met in person. So showing your face is a good way to build trust, and those videos do tend to get more engagement than videos without your face. So just kind of get over the fear of having your face in a video and having your voice in a video. It's a little scary at first, but it is what it is, and it's always going to get you more engagement than a video without your face. So give it a try. The next one is really important. So make the first few seconds of your video stand out. So by the time, as I'm scrolling through social media, I stop on a video. By the time I watch that person, sit there and say, hi, I'm Carrie D. Pilato with Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. Today I'm going to talk about this. I've already scrolled past. So you want to make sure that those first few seconds of your video are really standing out. Make sure that you are catching people in with the hook. So don't start with a lengthy introduction, jump right in. So, these are the 3 mistakes that I see buyers make all the time, or whatever it is that your video is about. Make those first 3 seconds really catchy, so that people want to continue watching. And then keep your video short and sweet. We're seeing short form videos perform a lot better than longer ones lately on social media. So again, just kind of focus on making your point really concise and keeping people's attention throughout the whole thing. Next, be a storyteller. So people just are naturally drawn to stories. So rather than sharing facts, think about how you could format your video as a story, maybe a story of a client who you helped, or just kind of giving examples, telling stories rather than just kind of giving facts. That is going to drag people in and attract them to be watching the entirety of your video rather than kind of losing interest if you're just kind of listing facts off. So kind of focus on how you can be telling stories throughout your videos. Pay attention to lighting. So you want to make sure that you are kind of just taking a look at what the video is going to look like ahead of time. Natural lighting tends to be preferred. And then end with a call to action when relevant. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit when I touch on some lead generation best practices, but I do want to make sure that, anytime that you have something that you want people to take action on as a result of your video, make sure that you're very clear in telling them that. So if you want them to do something specific, like visit your website for a free home valuation, or send you a direct message, or whatever it is that you want people to do, make sure that you're being very clear in your video, asking people, tell them exactly what you want them to do to take action on what you talked about in that video. Next, add subtitles or text when possible. Most of the platforms make it really easy to add subtitles or text on top of your video. And that's really important because 85% of people on social media are watching video without sound. So you're going to get a better engagement rate when you do have text or subtitles available, so that people don't need to turn their sound on, and it just makes it easier for them to watch the video. So I won't go into details about how to do that, but we do have some tips and resources for you. So reach out to the marketing team if you have questions about how specifically to do that. And then when you're posting to Instagram, make sure that you're kind of extending the life of your video and making sure that as many people see it as possible by sharing your videos to your stories and saving them to your Instagram highlights. And then using tags and geotags, hashtags and geotags. So those are going to expand your reach, make sure as many people see it as possible. Again, just for the sake of time, not going to go into detail on how to do those, but please reach out. We have some videos and tips for you if you do want some advice on optimizing your videos on Instagram. Okay, so going to move into the couple of ideas, and don't worry, I'm going to give you these slides. You're going to have these slides in your newsletter this Sunday, but I just wanted to put up some ideas. These are some questions that maybe you're asked by your clients. These would make really great video topics. So again, take a look at some of these. I'm sure that you know the answers to all of these off the top of your head already. So it would make a really easy format for a video. So go in to your email, or just kind of think about what are some questions you've been asked recently, or take a look at a list like this one. And just kind of go through and answer some of these questions. Chances are, if you're being asked that question a lot more people have it and would watch a video about it on social media. So I'll make sure you have these slides, but just wanted to throw some ideas up here as, again, you shouldn't be sitting there wondering what to post on social media. We've got lots of ideas for you. And here's another list of them here. So again, these are all things that you, I'm sure, know off the top of your head. Super easy one. that you can all do right now. What is one thing that you love love about living in your area? So put it in the chat, what is one thing you love? If it's, love being close to hikes, or I love the food, or I love, whatever it is, that is a great video topic. And a lot of these are really easy and things you can just kind of do off the top of your head, don't need to do a lot of research. So again, we'll make sure you have these slides, but we'll move on for the sake of time. I'm going to take a look at the chat real quick before we move on to our paid social media. Okay. Yeah, so Todd, your question about how do we track and kind of see what's working, what's effective on social media, and a lot of the platforms really make it easy for you to kind of go in and see exactly what worked on social media. That's one of the reasons that I like it so much, is because you can use the analytics and insights tools on most of your platforms to actually go in and see exactly what worked. So within hours of publishing a video or a post, how well it performed. So you can actually go in and see how many people liked it, how many people interacted with it, where people are coming from. So you can see if your hashtag strategy is working. So social media does tend to make it easy. And that's one of the reasons why I do like social media so much as a brand marketing strategy, because it's so easy to tell if it's working. Some other things, direct mail is a little bit trickier because you are kind of hoping people are seeing it and not just throwing it out before they bring it in the house from the mailbox. But a great thing about social media is that it does make it easy for you to see in your insights and your analytics actually how many people are seeing your post, how many people you've reached, and then you can really adjust your strategy based on that. All right, just taking a quick look at the chat, and we should have a few minutes here at the end. Heidi, that's a great question. Is video as effective on Facebook or just Instagram? So it is effective on both, and you definitely want to be using it on both. Right now, Instagram Reels are the best way to reach a lot of people at once. So I would say if you're gonna pick one, right now, I would focus on Instagram Reels. But the nice thing now is they actually released a feature that you can automatically post your Instagram Reels to Facebook, since they're owned by the same company. You can actually do them both at once. So as you're going through and posting an Instagram Reel, there's a little checkbox that says also post to Facebook. So you can check that and publish directly to Facebook as well. I would recommend doing that. Again, we're just finding that Reels are just the most effective type of video to use right now. So I would recommend kind of knocking out both of those at once by posting Reels, but then checking that little box that says, yes, also post this to Facebook. All right, so I'm going to move on to paid social media, but before I do that, I just want to touch quickly on some resources that are available to you if you are looking to get started with social media, specifically video content. So Shanna is leading these really great Instagram Reels workshops that I wanted to mention to you if you have never created an Instagram Reel or are just kind of looking to sharpen your skills and improve the Reels that you're creating. These workshops are really great. We're keeping them very small and intimate so that you can get one-on-one help. And actually what you do in these workshops is film a Reel and post it during the workshop. So very hands-on, and you actually have a script in front of you, and we provide everything you need. And then you can post it right then and there. Makes it really easy and kind of takes some of the pressure off posting that first Reel. And again, you have Shanna and our marketing team is there to help you one-on-one as you're going through that. So I would definitely recommend signing up for one of those. I believe the next one is coming up on August 4th. So reach out to Shanna if that's something you want to be consider if you're interested in joining. Those are really great. I do want to give a shout out to Jared Nixon in Durango from our first Instagram Reels workshop. He actually created and posted his first Reel during the workshop, and it got, I think, 3,700 views. So really great work there, and just a good way to reach a lot of people at once. So I just want to give a shout out to those workshops. A great way to get started if you are looking for some help getting going with Reels. And then we do, again, as I mentioned, have a resource library on changelivesacademy.com with some video topic ideas and tips for filming and having the best lighting and what kind of equipment do you need. We've got some resources for you there on that social media resource library on changelivesacademy.com. So make sure to check that out and keep an eye on our weekly newsletter as well for some video updates each week as well. Okay, so with that, I want to move on and touch on paid social media advertising. So I mentioned at the beginning, There's organic social media and there's paid social media. And organic is often not the way that you're going to generate a lot of leads quickly. So it's the way that you're going to stay top of mind and build brand awareness. But really, if lead generation is something that you're really wanting to use social media for, and you're really wanting to grow your audience quickly, without spending hours and hours each week creating videos, and really focusing on organic social media, paid social media is a great way to go. It's going to help you generate leads and expand your reach a lot quicker than organic social media will. So there's a lot of different types of paid social media advertising. For the sake of time, I'm just going to talk about two, and both are based on Facebook. It tends to have a broader audience and is really one of the easier places to start. But keep in mind that there are other types of ads. There are YouTube ads, there are Google ads, there are LinkedIn ads, all types of different advertisements that you can do based on the platforms that you prefer. So for example, maybe a commercial agent might want to focus on LinkedIn ads, or in addition to trying Facebook. So there are different things you can try out. So these are not all of the options here. I just wanted to go through two of the easiest ways that you can get started with social media advertising. And both of these take 5 minutes or less to get set up. So these are really going to be, if you've never run a social media ad and just want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success, these are going to be two really easy ways to do that. So the first one is going to be a boosted post. So boosted posts on Facebook is just a way to put a little bit of money behind a post and it reaches more people. So it's really generating extra exposure for you and for your posts. And what you can do, you can do this directly through Facebook. On each of your posts, there's a little boost post button. So one thing you can do is you can take a look back at your posts throughout the week and see which ones performed well organically, and then you can put $5 or $10 or $20, whatever you'd like, and boost those posts to reach more people. So boosted posts are going to help you reach more people. They may not help you directly generate leads. The next option I'm going to talk about is better for that. But boosted posts are really great for helping you to expand your audience quickly. So one way that I recommend, is really easy to get started, is through Social Bay. So if you are connected to Social Bay, which I hope everyone is, you can access through CBIQ. You can run boosted posts really easily, and you can even set it up to automate these for your listings. So every time you have a listing, you can set it up to boost a post for as much, you can set the budget to whatever you'd like. So I have some example results here. Typically what we see for a $50 listing ad, we see around 3,200 impressions and 240 engagements. So that means your post was seen 3,200 times and 240 people interacted with it. So again, just some example numbers. It varies based on the listing, but those are kind of average results. You can see that you're expanding your reach quite a bit just by boosting that post. And then the second option is a Facebook ad through Social Ad Engine. So Social Ad Engine makes it really easy for you to run Facebook ads rather than messing with Facebook Ads Manager. And there's a lot of things that are a little bit tricky about that, especially in real estate, due to some of the anti-discrimination policies that they have in place. Social Ad Engine really takes the guesswork out of it and makes it easy for you to run optimized Facebook ads through that platform. So this is going to be a great one. There are 3 different ad objectives. So you can really tailor your ad to the objective of what you're hoping to get out of your post. So what we see for an average $129 lead generation campaign, lead generation is one of those objectives. So if that's what you're hoping to get out of your ad, you can choose that objective. We see about 5,600 impressions, 275 engagements, and 18 leads. So those are, for $129, pretty good for having actual people to follow up on and expanding your reach to a lot more people than you would reach if you had just posted organically. So again, for the sake of time, I know we are right up at 9:30 here. I don't want to go into detail on how to go through each of these, but they're both very easy and they both take about 5 minutes to set up. So please reach out to us if you do need help getting either of these set up and giving them a try. They're very easy. And just a good way to, again, generate some leads and expand your reach on social media through paid advertising. Okay, so finishing up, just a few quick best practices. So for lead generation, in your posts, whether organic or paid, these are a few things that you can do to make your to make your posts. It should help you with lead generation through social media and use social media as a lead generation tool. The first one is to make sure that you're using calls to action. So again, tell people what you want them to do, whether that's download your buyer or seller guide, or get a free home valuation, or schedule an appointment with you, or leave a comment with answering a question. Whatever it is, make sure that you're telling people what you want them to do. And even better if you can use a landing page like the ones available in Social Bay to help you collect contact information so you can follow up with that person later on. Encouraging engagement. Like I said, engagement is going to be the key to reaching more people on social media. So make sure that you are posting the right types of content and asking questions, posting things that are going to get people to interact with your posts. Make sure your contact information is updated. This seems like an obvious one, but this is something a lot of people miss. So if you haven't gone through and taken a look at your social media profiles in a while, make sure you go back, review them, make sure that your contact information, number one, is accurate and up to date, and then make sure it's easy to find. Kind of go in and look as if you were a potential client or someone who stumbles across your profile. Just kind of see what they see and adjust as needed to make sure that it's really easy to get in touch with you and really clear of what you do and who you are. Use social media features that encourage interaction. So there's lots of different tools that you can use, like, for example, polls on Facebook and LinkedIn, or stories, stickers on Instagram, that make it really easy for someone to interact with your posts. So again, keeping in mind that engagement is key. Use those little features that are going to encourage people to engage with your posts. Don't neglect LinkedIn. This is an important one because people do tend to be a lot more focused on business content on LinkedIn. So especially if you are posting, content related to your business, LinkedIn is a great way to build your network in an environment where people are more focused on seeing business content. So people do tend to find that LinkedIn is a great one for lead generation, because people are more focused on seeing that type of content. You're not competing with kitten videos so much as you are on Facebook and Instagram. People are really focused on seeing business content and would be more likely to reach out and visit your website and contact you through there. So don't neglect LinkedIn and building your network there. And then lastly, join and add value to groups on Facebook and LinkedIn. So one of the things that I'm going to mention here in my summary is that you don't just want to post on social media. You want to make sure that you are interacting, engaging. Not just posting and then leaving the platform for the week, but you're actually going in, commenting on people's posts and sharing, posts from groups in your community. So make sure that you're not just posting, that you are actually taking some time to interact with people, join groups. Like I mentioned, those are a great way to expand your audience and, again, stay top of mind. So lastly, just kind of keep in mind, organic content is great for keeping you're building your brand awareness, keeping you top of mind, making sure that you're the first person that comes into someone's mind when they think of a real estate agent. Make sure that you're focusing on creating the type of posts that are going to build engagement. Make sure that you're interacting with other people's content, and then use paid advertising as well in your social media strategy to help you expand your reach even further and generate leads. So having a mix of organic and paid content is really going to be the best way to reach a lot of people and grow your branding and build awareness while generating leads on Facebook. So having a mix of the two is really important. And so a lot of information. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you do have any questions. I know there were a lot of little tidbits in there. And remember, we do have, your marketing team is here to help if you are looking to get started on social media and are not sure how to do that. Please reach out to us. We would love to sit down with you, take a look at what you're doing on social media right now and make some recommendations, help you out with content, like I mentioned, anything that we can do to help you kind of find that right balance of organic and paid social media for you. So please do reach out to us. You can reach the marketing team at marketing@cbdistinctive.com, and you can reach all of us at once. We would love to sit down with you and just kind of go through your social media strategy and figure out how we can help you have the greatest impact on your business. So we'll take a look at the chat box, just make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know we went a little bit over, so thank you for bearing with me, and I hope this was helpful for you. Again, reach out if there is anything that we can do to help you on social media or in marketing in general. Again, this is just one of the things you can do to improve your marketing strategy. So if you do want some help or want some ideas, we are here to help you. That's all I have for today. Thank you everyone for being here. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for joining.